So have you found yourself unemployed? Well, welcome to the jungle. Hello, I'm Katherine Campbell, founder of Leopard Job. Find your spot in the new world. It is certainly difficult to be unemployed. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You're not alone. If you look in the finance sector this year, we've laid off over 20,000 people. The tech sector is over 230,000 people. Manufacturing's at an all-time low and very challenged. Retail is over 500% year over year at a layoff rate. The headlines, will tell you that we're at about a 3.8% unemployment rate. But if you really look at, you cannot deny the underemployed, those that are, unable to find work after some length of time. That really accounts for about 22.8% of the population. So we're struggling. And there's no doubt about it that, some will argue that we're in a recession or we're about to be in a recession, but we're regardless of it, if you look at inflation and everything else, we certainly feel that we are not in a very strong financial situation. So, it's during these times that, do all you can do. Hang in there. Obviously, you're looking for jobs. You're doing everything you can do to network and really stay engaged through hopefully social media and all the tools that we have today to try to get ourselves re-engaged with work. But since you're in the situation you're in, it's a great time to learn something different, right? We are in what I believe is a work revolution, and that between remote work and hybrid work and AI, right? AI very likely taking over many of the tasks that we have been doing. And these companies today are sort of looking at, when I do come back out of this recession, how could I maybe have changed some of my technology capabilities to not need to hire as many people when we're back to business as usual? So while they're reinventing themselves, companies are, you need to be reinventing yourself. So use the downtime wisely. You're here, right? You've got the time. How can you do that? Well, I created something called the W.O.R.K platform, and W.O.R.K is not a 4-letter word anymore. It is going to be an acronym that we can really dive into and rethink how our relationship is with something that really hasn't been great. I'm sure the days where, you first got up and realized you didn't have to go to your job if you are unemployed, you were pretty happy about that, right? It's not fun sometimes to work. I mean, most people don't love to work. We all know that if we won the lottery today, we probably would not stay with that particular job. But the idea of working, getting engaged with, being productive in society is something we all have a calling to do. No one feels great about doing nothing all of the time. So let's go through the W.O.R.K platform to give you some ideas of how to spend this downtime so that when we get out of it, you're ready to go and you're really clear about your own work ethic. Okay. So the W in work is wealth. Wealth has certainly changed significantly, in the opportunities that have come along with cryptocurrencies and many things that have changed in just the last few years. But a lot of that is starting to sort of pan out as debatable, right? What is the real value? Is really something like Bitcoin really just a fiat system that doesn't have a future, or does it have a future? Who knows? But it's definitely something that's worth diving into and looking at maybe some more, better options that are around stable coins. And those are commodities, right? So commodities themselves, if you look at the investment that's happening all over the globe, even at the central bank levels, of gold and silver. Have you really gone and just looked at investing in silver? You can buy an ounce of silver from a metals company for as little as like $25, right? Plus spot, maybe $30, something like that. And that could be worth maybe a few $100s. Look and read. This is the D-Y-O-R. Do your own research and learn what is going on with commodities, particularly those that you can easily get your hands on. Certainly real estate is a commodity. That might not be something, as the unemployed, you can just go run out and invest in investment real estate. But the point is, start to look at what commodity options are available that you might be able to start dabbling in now. Other interesting ones are some cryptocurrencies that are stable coins. If you've looked at the news lately with the SEC and Ripple lawsuits, XRP is starting to emerge out of that. There are a number of countries who have signed up to start negotiating and trading on XRP. So, this is really happening. XLM, Stellar. The Stellar network is absolutely unbelievable. It's definitely something you want to spend your time understanding. And Stellar today, I think, is trading for around 12 cents. So XLM is. So it's really worth diving into. This is, again, how can you spend your time to figure out what the new world of wealth looks like for you? We have a mass sort of de-dollarization around the world. People are starting to drop treasuries like crazy and send them back to the US. They've decided to trade off of the dollar, and they've particularly decided to trade off of the petrodollar, right? This is the first time in our lives that countries are not using the dollar to trade oil and gas. India, China, Saudi Arabia now. I mean, this is really, really changing. And so start to spend that time making yourself educated and how you might be able to take advantage of the new opportunities. And that is the O actually in work is opportunity. So what's going on with our actual jobs? If AI comes in and starts to change the actual task, well, then what do we do? So your particular job may not be there, but certainly many jobs will be there. It's just a matter of what they're turning into. This is where I keep saying, tell the candle makers electricity is coming. There is no doubt about it. Our jobs are changing. We are the people evolving. We are really the people in the middle of a work revolution that can help us work more like something that benefits our lives, our family lives. And that's why this is exciting. It's exciting that this sort of massive shift is happening for AI to take over our roles so that we can be more human, right? It's the one thing AI absolutely cannot do. And so some of the new opportunities are things like AI trainer. Go ahead and start learning how to be an AI trainer, because not everything about artificial intelligence is artificial. I mean, somebody's actually got to pump that knowledge base full of the information about your company, about the roles it's replacing. That artificial intelligence has to learn. So you might even be able to create a position for the company that you're in right now. Or if you're only working part-time, or if you want to get back into a company, where you can say, look, I'll go and do this for you. You could create that role as an AI trainer. Also, a sentiment analyzer. There are certain words where AI can understand the sentiment out of a conversation. It certainly would likely know if someone's angry and they're chatting, typing away at a bot. They might be able to figure that out. But sort of what to do about that sentiment, how to handle phone calls with different sentiments, and how to communicate with clients or whatever industry that you're in. Sentiment is a big piece that AI cannot entirely understand right now. So spend some time. This is the point. Learn something new in the world of work. Learn the new opportunities that will be out there. I'm going to do a whole bunch of videos on this coming up. So check back here at Leopard Job for that. So R in work is responsibility. So, to your employers, you have a responsibility. And this is something that we've gotten a little bit backwards in the last few years. We've kind of forgotten who's working for whom. Certainly employers have a responsibility to employees, no doubt about it. But we sort of think that maybe employers, if there's 3,000 of us at a company, need to find 3,000 ways of doing things based on how each of us wants to work. And that's just not really practical. And so come back, as I'm going to be doing a lot of conversation around how to sort of create a new frame of evaluation instead of just time, right? We've kind of lived this life of saying, I worked 8 hours today, I'm done. And really, how productive can you be in exactly 8 hours? So be responsible that really kind of at the end of the week, instead of every single day, every single hour, get out of the mode of time and be responsible to the job that needs to be done. So again, I'll have several videos on that, no doubt about it. You also need to be responsible to your community. Here we are with this great opportunity. If you were working remote or have the opportunity to go back and get a job that is remote, that we are not commuting. And so, kind of look out of your window, see what's going on out there in your community, have some responsibility to it, right? Clean up what might need to be cleaned up, right? Just have some responsibility to everyone around you. So that is a kind of a better way to look at it than just what is your task and what needs to be done just around your house. Use the extra time that you have, particularly if you're unemployed, to recognize what needs there are immediately around you. Finally, the K in work is kindness, which is absolutely one of my favorites here. It's this is where we can use some extra time, and it doesn't take much. This is the whole mode of volunteering, of taking a moment to look up and smile at someone, Being kind really doesn't take that much time. It might be, hey, look, if you know that you're not going to work and you can't find a job right now, and you and your friends or your neighbors have been talking a little bit about a community garden, go ahead and, start to do that. Get things prepared, for the winter time, so that the spring you can enjoy some things that are out there. Also, your neighbors. If you look around, you notice there's just an older woman who doesn't seem to leave her house very often anymore. Ask her, can I go grocery shopping for you? I'm going to go myself, so can I pick you up some things from the grocery store? You were going anyway. These are things that don't take a lot of time, but it does take a lot of kind of mental effort to start to change our engagement with people immediately around us. So really consider the work platform. Wealth, opportunity, responsibility, kindness. These things are changing, and they're evolving to make us better as individuals, certainly us better in our community, but all because of the work revolution that's happening. So while it's a struggle, and hang in there, I wish you the very, very best if you are unemployed, to find a way to continue to make ends meet. Spend the time that you inevitably have, though, right now, to learn about the work revolution. Thank you for spending some time with me at Leopard Job. Welcome to the jungle.